We are back to Let's Talk Trades, the show where we break down the myths, spotlight the opportunities, and celebrate the people who keep our world running. Today, we're going to dive into a topic again that's timely and urgent: the growing demand for skilled trades. All right, let's start off with a reality check. Across the country, we're facing a serious labor shortage in the skilled trades. We're talking about plumbing. We're talking about electrical. We're talking about HVAC. You name it. If it's a skilled trade, we're short. So these aren't just jobs, these are careers. They build infrastructure, they keep homes safe, they power industries. And right now, we don't have enough people to fill them. All right, let's talk about some statistics. It says here, according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, the demand for electricians alone is projected to grow by over 6% in the next decade. That's thousands of new positions opening up and not enough trained professionals to step in. And that's not just electricians. We're talking about plumbers. Again, we're talking about welders. We're talking about HVAC. They're all seeing the same spikes in demand. Let me throw another stat at you. A recent report from the Association of Builders and Contractors estimates the construction industry needs over 500,000 workers to meet the current labor demands. 500,000. That's not a gap, that's a canyon. What's driving this surge? A few things. First, we have an aging workforce. Many of these skills tradespeople are retiring, aging out, and there aren't enough young workers to backfill these positions. Also, we have a high demand in the economy. We're building infrastructure, we're building homes, we have green energy projects, we're having tech driven construction. Like I was talking in a previous episode about the building of data centers. So we do have a lot of construction that is creating new opportunities, but they still require people with hands on experience. And third, we spent decades talking about college, college, college. I've talked about that also, college or bust. Meanwhile, trade careers, many of which offer solid pay, a lot of options, a lot of room for growth, job security, have been overlooked or stigmatized. But here's the good news: times are starting to change. Slowly but surely, people are waking up to the value of the skilled trades. You see a lot of news stories, news articles talking about interest in the skilled trades with the youth. Schools are starting to reintroduce vocational programs. If you didn't know, I was a former career and technical education instructor. Companies are investing in apprenticeships. The company I work for currently, we have a full training center where we train in house for our installers and podcasts just like this. My entire premise behind this was to expose the youth to the skilled trades, to let them know that this is a viable option. And yeah, we're part of the movement, helping to shift that conversation. All right. So if you're listening and you're in the trades, I want to tell you you're in demand. You already know this, especially if you're licensed. Your skills are essential, and your work is the backbone of our economy. If you're considering a trade career or know someone who is, this is your moment. Opportunities are real, and the need is urgent, and the future is wide open. All right, let's dive into something that hits home for a lot of folks: money, specifically financial benefits of choosing a trade school or a community college over a traditional 4 year degree. Let's start with the numbers. The average cost of a 4 year college degree in the US is over $100,000. I'll say that again: $100,000 for a 4 year degree. That's tuition, housing, books, fees, the whole package. And for many students, that price tag comes with a heavy side of debt. We're talking 30,000 or more in student loans, sometimes double that, sometimes triple that, depending on the career choice. Now let's talk about trade school. Most programs for trade school through a trade school or community college cost between 5,000 and 15,000 total, not per year, total. And many can be completed in under 2 years. So again, we talk about the trade schools and community colleges, which are 2-year universities. That's a fraction of the cost and fraction of the time. So right off the bat, trade schools a financial win, but it doesn't stop there. Let's talk about the earning potential. So trade school grads often step into jobs right out of school. Electricians, plumbers, again welders, they have jobs, they have a great starting pay, and again, these roles are in demand. So it's not hard to find a job straight out of community college or trade school. And we talk about the difference between coming out with your degree, diploma, and these guys and gals are starting out with 50, 60, 70, 80, $90,000 a year. With experience, certifications, or starting your own business, $100,000 plus easy. It's always within reach. And they're doing that while many college grads are still in school or trying to find their first job out of school. That's how in demand this skill is.
Right.
Here's some statistics. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, the average student loan debt for college grads is over $30,000. For trade school grads, often less than 10. This includes community colleges, and in many cases, zero, thanks to scholarships, employer sponsorships, or paid apprenticeships. Personal experience. I went to community college for 2 years. First year, I paid out of pocket full time, applied for scholarships, didn't get any. My second year, I won the GlaxoSmithKline scholarship, the Presidential Scholar. My entire second year was paid for. So I didn't pay anything for my second year. That's how you get started on the right foot. And here's another thing that a lot of people don't talk about enough. It's called opportunity costs. If you spend 4 years in college, that's 4 years you're not earning any money. Trade school, you could be making 50, 60, $70,000 a year while the college student still has 2 years in class. Multiply that times four. If you're an apprenticeship or you're working full time while you're going to school, you could be up $200,000 easy. So let's break it down. Trade schools cost less, takes less time, start earning faster, you carry less debt, and you skip that 4 year income gap. That's not just a good idea, it's a good deal and a smart investment. And it's one that more people need to talk about, honestly. So, if you're listening right now and you're weighing your options, do not overlook the trades. These careers offer financial freedom, they offer job security, and a clear path forward. And if you're a parent, teacher, or mentor, start talking about trades and trade schools and community colleges as legitimate, respected options because it is. And as always, I'm always available to answer any questions. Have a lot of experience with different schools, different career pathways that are aligned with the trades. So as always, I can be reached at jonte@letstalktrades.com. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's talk about it.